Welcome. Hello, everyone. We are so excited that you have joined us for the very momentous launch, this occasion, the launch of Move Forward Stronger with Julia Nicholson. And if you have a camera available, it's always so much fun to see friends and family gathered and supporting this milestone on Julia's journey to bring her book into the world. So thank you so much for choosing to join this afternoon. We have a few more people coming in. I would ask that for the purposes of maintaining the audio integrity of this call that you do remain muted unless you're called on to speak. But throughout the call, we will have opportunities for you to speak to Julia, for you to congratulate her. And what I want you to do right now is to get ready for that. So in your Zoom panel, you're going to find that there are reactions. They will be in the bottom of your Zoom panel, and one of those is the hand raise function. So later on in the program, we will ask you to use the hand raise function if you would like to speak to Julia. So if you want to take a moment and find that, or if you want to take a moment and find those other fun emojis that you can use throughout tonight's event, I'm going to just show you what that looks like when it goes up on the screen. Here we go. See all the hearts? Yes. The other thing we want to let you know is that we are going to use the chat as a virtual guest book. And after tonight's event, Julia will have the chance in the quiet of her home to read over the comments that you put in the chat. So we want to welcome you throughout the chat. Throughout the evening, to put your congratulations, to put your questions, to put your heartfelt warm wishes for Julia into the chat. So welcome everyone. Julia, how are you on this amazing evening?
Oh my gosh, it's a combination of nervous wreck, excited, and this is just so cool to see so many faces. You guys, thank you so much for showing up. I just so appreciate it. This is just amazing. So combination, nervous, excited, happy, worried, apprehensive, but at the end of the day, just really joyful.
Amazing, Julia. Well, it's so fun. I'm going to spotlight you so everybody can see you. It's so fun to see everyone. And as we're getting started tonight, we would love to know what compelled you to attend tonight's event. So there are probably lots of reasons why you're here, but we're curious. Are you a super fan of Julia? Are you so excited to celebrate and learn about Julia's new book? Are you here tonight because you know about the in-person event this weekend and you can't make it, and so you're logging into the virtual party instead? Or do you just love a great party? So go ahead and take a moment and answer the poll. You should be able to see it on your screen, and we would love to hear what motivated you to come tonight. And I'm not seeing any answers on the poll. Are you all seeing the poll? Can you let me know in the chat?
I did, and I picked because I love a good party.
Okay. Well, it's so strange. I'm not seeing anybody's responses, which is really strange. I've never seen that before. I'm gonna bet that there are lots of people representing all of them. I'm gonna close the poll, and it some weird Zoom misfunction, and I have no idea why. So let's try that again. Everybody voted, but the results didn't show. Is that true?
Oh, I see results.
You do see results?
I do.
It's showing me that 0% of people answered.
On my screen, it says 47% are a super fan. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's mutual. That's why you're here. I'm excited to celebrate Julia's new book. I would agree. I wish we were all together, like cheering with whatever your favorite beverage is. I'm not able to attend the event in person is 10%, and those of you, you absolutely will be missed. And I love a good party, 13%, which is 13 is my lucky number.
Well, Julia, I'm so glad that you could see that because something weird is happening on my Zoom and I could not. So thank you. You're my wing woman tonight.
Well, that's wild because it says that it was shared with me by the host, but yes, so thank you. I mean, I just can't tell you how appreciative I am for you guys all to be here. It's pretty special. Thank you.
So I am betting that everyone is here already knows Julia, but I just want to share a moment before we dive into the program. I had the chance to review and read Julia's book. If you've also read and reviewed Julia's book, go ahead and show us with your emoji or raise your hand. And what a touching and inspiring journey reading your book was, Julia. And, I'm sure everyone who's here knows the many milestones on your journey, those terrible its that you faced, and also the resilience that you showed in rebounding from and responding to and reframing your life's experiences. So I want to thank you as the host of the party, for being willing to share your life so vulnerably in ways that can give people insights into new ways to process difficulty in their lives. And so if you haven't read the book yet, you are in for a treat. And, in terms of Julia's career journey, there may be those of you on the call who have walked with her through that and maybe didn't know all the personal side. So I'm really excited later for many of you to have the chance to share and talk with Julia. But at this time, I really would love to give you a chance, Julia, to shout out some of the special people who have joined tonight. I know you're anxious to be able to express your appreciation.
Oh my gosh, well, they're all special. I mean, I'm looking at this group of people, and I have to just say, it's just so overwhelming. It's so heartwarming, right? You know how you carry people in your heart, and you also know people have very busy lives and lots of things going on. And I mean, I look at just the screen and I see people that I've known my entire life. EJ, thank you so much for joining. He is my brother, and he is definitely a big part of my journey. And thank you so much, each joining us from Indiana. I mean, I see Lisa Reynolds. Oh my gosh, we have some history and a big part, and you absolutely embody what it means to move forward stronger in many ways. I cannot miss pointing out Brooke White. Thank you very much. Brooke came into this journey with me when I think so many people would have turned and run for the hills with everything that was going on. I mean, I could say something about every single person here. I look at George Stevens, and for those of you that might have seen it on screen, he is the brilliance behind this cover that I have to tell you. I've had advanced reader copies to fix the typos and the page breaks and everything that I didn't get right the first time. And so many people sitting on planes and in airports have asked me about this book just because they saw the cover. New people that I've met recently, either on a plane or at a football game or via a Zoom meeting, people that I've worked with. Rodrigo, I love your color. You know, that's my favorite color. It made such a special place for me at a golf event. I mean, I could say something to every single person here. Kathy Zocker, who gave me my first opportunity ever to be on stage and believed in me. At least she didn't know she did. She didn't have a choice, I guess. She could have said no. But I just look at the people I've worked with. Haley Nicholson, I see that you were there. Thank you so much for squeezing this in. I know you have a lot going on. Haley is my bonus daughter, and also embodies what it needs to move forward stronger. So I wish I could say a shout out to all of you. I mean, Kate Colbert, who helped with so much in getting this uploaded and available for people to actually buy. It's literally, I could say something to everybody. So, and you guys know that, right? You know, I can get really wordy, and then I get all teared up and I get choked up. Some of us go back a long time, and I just want to thank you so much for everything that you've been by my side. I mean, Ellen Michaels, you picked up some of the pieces and you got me focused to make sure that I stayed on track and I didn't go squirrel for shiny objects. So anyway, I just thank all of you for being here. It's very heartwarming.
So Julia, I know that those who have come who maybe haven't heard about the backstory of how you started on this journey to bring this book to life would probably love to hear from you a little bit about why you chose to write this book now.
I wish I could say that I chose to write the book. It's more like this book chose me. And candidly, I had been asked for years and years about telling my story, just because of the personal experiences that I'd had coupled with the career success. And I always refused, and I always pushed that aside. And I truly believe, we all have a story, and we all have things that have happened in our life, and we've all tried to move forward with those. And it got to the point where people started asking me, how did I do what I've done? And I really eventually just felt so compelled that they deserved an answer. They had the same look in their eyes that I had, and I remember and felt. And quite frankly, I couldn't sleep anymore. These thoughts about what I should say and the information I should share were really just kind of lingering all the time, and I couldn't sleep. And then, as fortuitous as the universe would be, I went on this trip that was the last minute trip. I wasn't even supposed to be on this trip. And I wound up going literally 2 weeks before, went on this trip to Asia with an MBA group that they had asked me to come along and be kind of a mentor for some of these new MBA students. And I had the unbelievable great fortune to meet this incredible woman named Tracy, joining us from Australia, Tracy. And I have to tell you that this book really was conceived. The idea of it was on a conversation with her, because on this 2-week cruise, 2.5 week, we connected so closely, so fast, that we have continued our relationship since 2019 via phone and text and messenger. And it was during that phone call that she and I were talking, and her beautiful spirit and allowing this conversation, that it was, oh my gosh, that's really where the book, the idea of a book and writing a book was started, because of a conversation that she and I had. And it was just one of those raw, honest, genuine conversations with a person that you just connect with. And so it's been since that conversation. I believe, Tracy, was March 24th, 2019. And it was from that conversation that this book really was developed. So
Amazing. So I think that you have a special guest, Brooke White, that you'd like to introduce next.
I do. I wish I could introduce everybody on this, because there's so many special people, but absolutely. Brooke White, for some of you that don't know any of the backstory, some of you do. I had so many stops and starts with this book and trying to figure out what to write and what order to write it in. And I had so many different manuscripts, and I had started working with a different individual that did the best that they could do, but got to the point where it was maybe 75%, and then just said they couldn't help me anymore and left me hanging. And I got really frustrated, and I almost decided that maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to do. And a shout out to George Stevens, who thankfully I had already connected with to do the graphic design for the book and the interior. And he talked me out of that, walking away from it. And he said, wait, maybe I can put some feelers out. I have some people I know. And through George Stevens, I met Brooke White, who literally came in and was kind and gentle and warm, but at the same time, able to stand up to my personality, which I know is not necessarily easy. Not only do I talk a lot, but I have a lot of opinions. And so she jumped right in and literally helped kind of massage the order and the structure. And this book is obviously a combination of this entire community that you see here on this screen. Every single one of you have touched me in a way that has found its way indirectly or directly into this book. But she literally is the one that has been in the trenches with me for almost a year, pulling this together. So Brooke, thank you. I would not have wanted to do this journey without you.
The honor is 100% mine, Julia, and it's so fun to be at this moment. I can't believe this. I can't believe all these faces that I'm seeing, and I can't wait to celebrate this with you in person next weekend. And I just want to share with the group that when Julia came into my life via George last December, I asked her what was her goal for the book, and she told me, I'm going to probably get a little choked up too. She said if she could help just at least one person feel at least one last minute of pain and blame and shame and suffering that surrounds any of life's its, as she calls them, any unwanted loss or change in life, then she will have considered this book a success. And I would say, given the attendance on this Zoom call on launch day, you have already reached your goal. And I cannot wait to see what's ahead. Congratulations, and thank you so much for allowing me to be on this journey with you.
Thank you, Brooke. Thank you. I cannot wait to meet you in person. Brooke and I have never met in person. She is in Charleston, South Carolina. We have met via Zoom and text messages and emails. And so I have never met her, and I will be meeting her this weekend to celebrate another celebration. Most of you know I love celebrations, and I think we don't celebrate enough. But to celebrate this book and hopefully what it's going to do for people in the world.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yay.
So I have another question for you, Julia. I'd love for you to share with everyone, and Brooke just gave us a glimpse of that with what she shared, but would you share what your greatest hope for this book is?
You know, my greatest hope really is exactly what Brooke said. It's been the same all along, is if I know what a journey it has been for me. And if there is just one person that there's something in this book that resonates with them, something that they can use to spend a little less time in those feelings of grief or being overwhelmed or sad or depressed or down, or really feeling like this is as good as their life will get. If I can just help them suspend that for even just 1 minute, which then can turn into 5 or 10, then to me, this has been worth it. And it really, I've struggled for so long trying to figure out why all the things that have happened in my life have happened, the trauma and the tragedy and the setbacks, as well as the successes and the wonderful people that I've met and the great things that I've experienced and I've learned. And this truly is my life's purpose. And I had somebody ask me a couple days ago, so how did you find your purpose? And I said, you know what, here's the unbelievable thing. I didn't find my purpose. It found me. And so if I literally just knowing that if I just help one person, just one, that has a little bit happier life, it's all been worth it.
Amazing. Well, I know already that you've helped more than one because I can see all the people on the call who've witnessed your journey and read your words. And so I can't even imagine what might be possible for this book as it gets out into the world, Julia.
Oh, thank you. I have been absolutely overwhelmed and stunned with the response already on the Amazon rankings and the response from people that I just meet. And I'm so humbled, and I understand the big responsibility that people stop and share their story with me, things that they haven't shared with anybody else, and let me know that this is giving them hope, that maybe this will help them. Maybe they can use this. And the cool thing is the people that are then saying, and I know somebody else I can share it with, that it might make a difference for them. And this is all about community. How do we help each other? And I really believe that we can help each other move forward stronger because we all have so much stuff and we're so much stronger together.
Amazing. Well, I think that we were going to invite your friend RJ Graham to speak next, but I'm not seeing RJ. So I don't know if RJ came into the meeting with a different name.
No, I think she is a consultant, also trying to help people in challenges relative to their businesses. And she said she may be late if she can get on, but as many of us know, she is on a client meeting call and she wasn't sure if she'd be able to get off soon enough or not.
Got it. Okay. So if you see her later, Julia, be sure to let me know and we can make sure to make space for her to speak. So one more question for you, and then I think Ellen is going to speak after that. So for those on the book who might be thinking about people in their lives that they could gift this book to, tell us about who you most hope will find and read this book. Who did you write it for?
That was one of the biggest struggles, is that when I started writing it, this whole idea of you have something that happened in your life that you didn't want to happen, that you didn't expect to happen. And that audience is so broad because I have not met one person that hasn't had something happen in their life they didn't want to happen. And so I really had to start getting focused on almost like concentric circles of what's the target, the key. And really for me, I started looking at it and said, those people that have had something happen in their life that it has impacted them to the extent that they really have come to believe that this is as good as their life will ever get. This is how they will always feel. But they haven't lost total hope. They still have that little glimmer that there might be something, just something. So they're still away and they're still searching. And that's the first group. It's like they're stuck, but they didn't even know they were stuck until they realize, oh my gosh, there might be something to help me be able to move forward from where I am. And I think that was finally where I really started to hone in on, to say, how can I help them? The interesting thing is, along the course of writing this, I started having a lot of people say, well, I've had somebody in my life that's experienced something that they didn't want to happen and they're struggling. Can I help them? And so it started to then evolve with, this is actually a guide, a tool, something that will help so many people in different areas. But I really started to focus in on the people that have had something, or right now, it's so many people that have had multiple. One thing happens and they don't get their sea legs, and then another thing, and then another thing, and then another thing. So that's really the primary. Interestingly enough, I've had people reach out to me to say, even if I didn't think something significant impacted my life, I recognize how I can use this going forward. And I didn't even recognize in some respects I was stuck. So I would say that that's the sweet spot, and then concentric circles after that.
Amazing and so powerful. Well, so we want to pause for a moment because we know that you're here tonight because you want to support Julia. And so at this point in the event, what I want to do is tell you some amazing and important ways that you can support Julia on her journey. And again, your presence here tonight is a huge boost, of course. And if there are other ways that you would be willing to help, we want to be able to give you some ideas about that. So the first idea, and I'm going to share my slides with you in just a second. Zoom has not been my friend tonight, I must say. If you could just be patient with me for one moment. So the first thing.
No, I'm not the only one that experiences technical.
Oh no, and
it's usually because I'm a defective end user of technology most of the time.
Nah. Okay, so here we go. Look at that beautiful cover. So there are a few ways that you can support Julia tonight. One is to purchase the book for yourself. So one of the things about Amazon and books is that book rankings on Amazon that Julia has alluded to, they're influenced every hour by the number of books that are sold in that hour. So because we're all here together, if every single person on the call tonight were to buy a book while you're here, even if you've already ordered one, with the thought that you could gift that to a friend, we would be able to see this amazing momentum that would help other readers to discover Julia's book as well. So launch is a very important time to get momentum. And so we want to ask you, if you're willing, you're here tonight, that you would choose to purchase the book for yourself or order it for a friend. I actually ordered a copy for myself this morning because I gave away the advanced copy I got from Julia. And when I'm not hosting this event, I'm going to order a copy and send it to my mother. So we hope that you'll do that. Then once you get the book, we would love to see your selfies with a copy of the book.
Yes.
That will help Julia juice up her social media. She'd love to see her book in any of the amazing places that you might travel. If you're on a cruise, if you're on the beach, if you're at home, if you're in the snow, if you're in the rain, if you're at a restaurant, wherever you might be, take Move Forward Stronger with you. The upside of that is someone might see it, they might be drawn in by it, they might want to know how they can move forward stronger too. So take the book with you, take photos of it, and we would love to see those selfies with the book. And Julia would love your permission to share those out on her social media so she can show readers all the amazing places her book is going in the world. Now,
and in addition, I'm going to add them to a scrapbook just for myself. So,
oh my goodness, I love that, Julia. I didn't know.
Yes, so I thank you. I'm very sentimental, so that scrapbook would be awesome. So I very much appreciate it.
So Amazon reviews are also very important social proof to help other readers discover the book. And when you leave your Amazon review, you don't have to write a book yourself. It can be just a few sentences, but if you can put keywords in that help someone understand what it was in the book that gave value to you, what inspired you, help someone discover that the book is for them. Finally, if you have social media platforms, you're active on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the places, if you would be willing to share the book with your networks, talk about what it means to you, why you enjoyed it, what was helpful to you, make sure you link to the book on a retailer site. And it's possible that you may have some kind of platform that's bigger than social media. Maybe you have an email newsletter, a podcast, a blog. Julia is looking for any and every opportunity to share this book with audiences. So those are just a few of the ways that you can support Julia. And you know what's super cool about Julia is that she has amazing ideas about how to surprise and delight people who choose to take these actions. And she'll be watching for your sharing, for your selfies, your Amazon reviews, and she has some special gifts. I saw some of them before the event started. She has some cool branded items. She has a plane ticket from Southwest Airlines that she wants to give away. Amazon doesn't allow for trading reviews for prizes, but we're going to just surprise people who help support this journey, who are champions of the message of Move Forward Stronger. How's that, Julia?
And literally, it's just a way to say thank you. I mean, you guys giving up time to even come and celebrate with me. I can't tell you how special that is. And I recognize how valuable everybody's time is. And it's just some small way that I can say thank you very much. For those of you that like t-shirts, here's one possible thing that might show up on your doorstep. Kind of cool. I think I'm going to be wearing mine everywhere, and I'm going to talk to people on the street because I'm kind of shy, and this will help get me out of my bubble.
Amazing. So I think that we were going to call on Ellen, weren't we?
Yes.
All right. So welcome, Ellen, special guest tonight, featured speaker.
And Ellen is taking her time away from her vacation in Hawaii to join on this call. So I'm sure that the speech is calling, but Ellen, thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate it. I can't.
You'll have to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Okay. So first, I just wanted to say big congratulations. I'm so proud of you. When I met Julia, we have a friend who's a mutual friend, and she introduced us at a place in El Dorado Hills called Sellons. Not that matters, but Julia and I were just talking, and I was just so amazed that one person had so many different cool ideas of things they wanted to do. But there's no way anybody could have done all those things. So anyway, I think the one thing I helped Julia do was to really focus in on sharing her message through speaking and writing this book. And we've become really good friends, and it's a wonderful day. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ellen is very being very humble. Ellen's former role, if I wouldn't even say that, because I think once always, she started and built this amazing event planning business where she hired speakers with names we will all know, like Tony Robbins and you know what, maybe I should not disclose any of that. Anyway, she gave me some much needed wind beneath my wings when I went through one of my many cycles of self-doubt. Do I have anything worth sharing? Do I have anything that's valuable? Do I have anything that might make a difference in somebody's life? And she put some much needed wind beneath my wings. She is from the East Coast, so she's very direct. She's very to the point. And I felt pretty confident that if there was nothing of value there, she would have had no problem telling me in a way that then we could go have a glass of wine and some cheese and crackers and it would all be okay. So she definitely was a very big help in prompting me forward on this path. I mean, there is no possible way to go on this path alone. And obviously, as evidenced by everybody that's shown up here, you guys all played a part, and no possible way anybody could do it alone. So thank you. Thanks so much, Ellen. It's been an infinitely more interesting journey with you and our conversations. And some of those ideas are still percolating there.
Great.
Thanks.
So now we want to open it up for any of you who would like to speak to Julia. Maybe you want to have some well wishes to share, or a story, or a reflection. And this would be the time to find that hand raise function in the bottom of your Zoom panel and to raise your hand so that I can call on you. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to raise and lower my hand. And when I see your hand raised, I'll call on you and you'll have the chance to speak face to face with Julia. Looks like Kate would like to speak. Kate? I don't think we can spotlight you without your camera on. I know you're sitting in the dark, but go ahead and unmute, and it's your turn, Kate.
Uh-oh, I can't hear her.
Oh, yeah. Do you have audio, Kate? We can see you.
You know, this is actually kind of fun. It almost reminds me of that romper room thing where now that I have my glasses on, I can see the little names. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, hi, Kathy from Cabo, and Rodrigo from Cabo, and Ricky. Oh my gosh, Ricky and I go way back. She was one of my best friends in high school. Ted, certainly one of my spiritual journey warriors. Thank you so much. My sister, Arlene, I can't see her picture, but oh my gosh, Arlene, the journey that we've been on together with all of your patience and listening to my thoughts ad nauseum. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Robert, so good to see you. I can't wait to see you next week. Leslie, oh my gosh, one of my newest people that have this incredible connection. So it's kind of fun. Haley, good to see you too. I mean, this is Kevin. Oh my gosh, Tim up there in Seattle. Tim has been one of my staunchest supporters in speaking.
Well, looks like Tim has his hand raised. Kate, are you able to speak?
I changed the microphone. Can you hear me now?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yay. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm like literally kind of in the middle of nowhere while I'm traveling. I shouldn't call Charleston the middle of nowhere. It's the middle of everywhere, right? But I just wanted to say I had a really unique opportunity to read Julia's book when I needed it really, really badly. So somebody that I care about very much had just died like the day before I read the book. And I was going through a lot. In fact, I'm in Charleston here to see a neurosurgeon. So this past year, I lost the ability to walk and then had spinal surgery and regained that ability. And I'm now continuing to have issues with my brainstem, and we'll be having many, many more neurosurgeries. And I was really struggling with how to cope with all of that, and then had this opportunity to read Julia's book as a sort of reader, an early reader. And to say that it shifted the way I think and feel is really an understatement. I mean, it really is. I read the whole thing in one sitting. And it really just blew my mind. And what's interesting is, as you know, listen, I'm a book lover for a million reasons, and I have hundreds and thousands of them that I own, and I have never read a book twice. This is a book I will read twice because I know that it's like having the friend who says all the right things when you're going through something really tough. And you can't really always count on your friends to be that for you. But I know that next time I'm really struggling with something, that I can pick it up and I can look at it. And the framework is so perfect to adjust to what you need in the moment in terms of your own loss or unwanted change, and sort of your own grieving process. And I really felt very seen when I read this book. And it makes me feel emotional just to talk about it. So I'm so excited for all the people out there on this call and in the world who have already pre-ordered the book or who will be finding it soon, because I really do think that this book will change a lot of lives. It will get a lot of people out of dark places. And I actually think, when I think about folks who are in a very dark place and who are suicidal, I think this book will save lives. I truly do. Thank you, Julia. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I so appreciate it, Kate. And you know what? Just knowing that it has made a difference in your life is just, thank you. You have no idea what that does to make a difference in mine. So thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Hi, Nick and Sandy. They are two people that I met on a plane. So when you see in my acknowledgements for all the people that I met on planes and trains, we happened to sit next together on a plane a few years ago, easy, and we've kept in contact ever since. So great to see you.
Good to see you. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're so
Thank you.
excited for you, Julia. You're an inspiration to a lot of people, I'm sure. You were to us. So we're blessed to be here.
Thank you. Well, don't worry, I'm spending some time in Chicago, so I'm going to be seeing you then. Absolutely.
Perfect. All right, that's exciting.
Yes.
We look forward to it.
I do as well.
All right, Tim, you're up.
Thank you so much. So of course, congratulations, Julia. You know, I've always thought of you as a rock star, particularly as a speaker. I had the great fortune to meet Julia through the International Foundation of Employee Benefit Plans, which was the aforementioned Kathy Zacher, who I also met about the same time. Julia was an instructor for a program I was at. She was the most engaging and energetic speaker I'd gotten to see at any kind of program like that. So I've followed her and all her programs at the International Foundation, you know, for years, and I always look for her at the program. So I was very excited when she told me about the book at the International Foundation's conference last year, and of course immediately pre-ordered that book. I'm looking forward to reading that soon, and I'm sure I'm going to wish I would have had that for many past moments in my life. But as I commented in the chat, if you didn't see it, I managed the pension plan for the Washington State law enforcement officers and firefighters. So every police and firefighter in the state of Washington participates in the pension plan that me and my team manage. And I have two benefit ombudsmen that work for us, and they deal exclusively with the police and firefighters who have experienced either disability on the job or death, and in which case they end up dealing with a lot of the families, their brothers and sisters in the services. So these ombudsmen are constantly dealing with grief and challenging situations with all these families. So this is absolutely going to end up being part of their reading repertoire. I have no doubt it's going to help them and do their job to support all of these people in the public safety who do so much to take care of us. So I think it's a phenomenal thing to be able to give them back a little bit more. So Julia, thank you so much for that. You know you're absolutely a rock star, and the more opportunities I can give you to speak in my role with the foundation as one of their board members, my role with the public sector, I'm going to do everything I can to support you because that's how much I think of you, because you're just an absolutely phenomenal person. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much. I just have to say, I've been able to kind of scroll back and forth on the screen, and it is just overwhelming to see such an amazing mix of people who have been a part of my life. People that, as I said, Ricky Ferguson, one of my best friends in high school. We all know how long ago that was. But all the way through people that I met through business, but have now become friends, like Dale Morjan and Ken Paletti and Kevin Potts and Pete Ornelas. And then people that I just recently met that we connected in a way that obviously makes a difference for them to give up a little bit of time. And I have to say that there's not too much more important to me than soul connections with another person. And I just can't say enough to say thank you to each and every one of you, personally and professionally, that now I call all of you my friends. And that is, I think that's the greatest gift anybody can give. So thank you. Tracy's raising her hand. I can see it.
Awesome. Tracy, we will find Tracy.
Hi. Hi from Australia. I wanted to share a little bit about the backstory with Julia and I, and also where it fits in with my career and things. I just wanted to first of all say, lovely to see you, darling, and congratulations. You've done an amazing job from where we were 4 years ago. As Julia said, she wasn't meant to be on that cruise, and neither was I. I was meant to be in South America for my birthday, and the cruise got cancelled. So I sat at home all alone, thinking, what was I going to do for my 50th birthday? And all of a sudden, this cruise came up, and then it cancelled out, and it came back on for 5 seconds, and I just pressed go, let's go. And I said to my daughter, I'm off to Singapore in 3 days' time. And we found each other sitting on a bus tour. Julia sat next to me, and we never stopped talking from that moment on. It was inspirational, and the story came, as we sat on the back of the boat. You could just imagine the sort of the romance of this book behind it, of us going through our lives and the different I don't believe anyone gets out of grief in their life. I work on the front line, but we'll get to that in healthcare. Everyone has grief in their life. It's just the format that it comes. And but Julia's story was inspirational, and she's just a dynamite. And I said to her, Julia, you really need to share this story. And the one thing that I noticed being on the front life with in healthcare is some people can skip through grief moments and they can get through it really well, and other people just flounder and they struggle and they virtually drown in it, and they never get actually through the grieving process. And here, I just feel if you just dig that little bit deeper, you'll actually be able to share your amazing story, and then in your own words, and it has to come from your words. Divine intervention will give you that power to succeed. And we sat and discussed that. And we sort of went backwards and forwards, but it always had to be Julia's words. And that was always what I'd said to you, didn't I? I said, you've got the word. It needs to come from you. Going into my own story, I mean, this was pre-COVID. This has been 4 years. It's never come at the best time. So as I said, I'm at the front line. I see death. I see suicide. I see the acute. I actually run the nursing side of ED, emergency. I see where I'm just about to change somebody's life with a team coming down telling them they've got cancer, and I see the happy side, and I see other people that are so inspirational that have had trauma and grief in their life, and somehow they just managed to get through it. Looking back though, just pre-COVID, we were very, very lucky at that time to have this meeting, because none of us knew that COVID was going to exist. So as I was like sitting on the front line, all gowned up in COVID, Julie was madly writing this book. And we really didn't get to talk to a lot because my life was exceptionally busy and we didn't know what was going to come. But from COVID, we've had so much death, so much grief. So I see the change in people, how sad they are, financial grief, you know, loss of family members. They've lost their freedom, they've lost choices that they've had. You know, we weren't allowed to leave our state. We couldn't get back home. We had people on the other side where, you know, they were losing people and they couldn't get back to even get to their funerals. We're now living with that legacy. And this book has come at such an amazing time, because I think from COVID, I'm seeing so much more suicide. I'm seeing so much more grief. I'm seeing people are struggling. And so, Julia, I really think that our meeting before COVID and all the struggles through COVID, and now we've come out of COVID, this book is really needed, and not one, you know, area fits all for our strategies. There's always got to be different strategies. So I really think you're going to get more than one person, my darling, to help. And yeah, and we were going to meet that next year, and COVID came and destroyed our plans. And I hope one day we really do get to give each other a big hug again.
It's this
Love
year.
You. This year.
This year. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's my story.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Tracy. It was really unbelievable. And here's the incredible thing. We met on one of the excursions, and when we got back to the ship, our rooms were in the same corridor, catty corner, one door away. So we were destined to meet at some point in time on that cruise, even if it was bumping each other in the hall and coming out of our cabin.
I just want to just put, you know, the one little message. You never know when that one chance meeting is going to make such a big difference in someone's life. You never know, like a chat that you have or communicating or connection with people can actually change lives. And you wouldn't think that one meeting, like if you ever want to think of divine intervention, this is one of those moments. I mean, the universe really closed down my other cruise. We got us together. You can't put anything different than like we were. It was set up without our control.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's kind of the best way. It's clearly not contrived.
It's not contrived. Anyway, love you. Congratulations. And I'll be quiet now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
What time is it in Australia right now, Tracy?
Oh, it's a beautiful sunny day. It's about 11 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just about to go to the beach walk. Can you see? Lovely beach walk.
Good for you. Well, I'm going to see you soon, and I will have a Move Forward Stronger t-shirt for you.
I will. Love you. Bye.
Love you too, sweetie.
So we do have a few minutes. If there's anyone else who would like to offer their well wishes and congratulations to Julia on this important day, the launch day. Julia, this is a day you will never forget forever. January 24th will be the day that you began this journey. And, you know, this book is going to be offering value in the world for months and years and decades to come as people reflect and learn from your story. So how amazing and powerful that you're putting it out there in such a powerful way.
Well, and amazing and powerful for me to see so many people. I mean, I see Katrina was able to join, Mimi's able to join. Both of them had meetings. They weren't sure they were going to be able to be here. Gwen, I see you all the way from Hawaii. I know you have stuff going on that you squeezed this in, which is unbelievable. I absolutely have to acknowledge Mike Patch, who has been just an incredible breath of fresh air in my life, without whose support and encouragement for the past, oh gosh, how many months, who's lived through all things book and beyond. Certainly wouldn't be here without that support either. So Heather, so good to see you, sweetie. We have to get together soon. Barbara, out of the International Foundation, I just want to make sure that nobody gets looked over. And Marie, John and Marianne, it's time to do dinner again in one of those fabulous restaurants. Alice, hopefully I've seen everybody. Melissa, thank you guys literally so much. You have no idea what it means to just see all of your faces and encouragement and support. And Kim, one of my newest, oh my gosh, the stuff that's going to happen with Kim and I meeting this year is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So I'm so overwhelmed, and you guys know I can ramble on and on, but I'm almost speechless.
Well, we've got Kevin here. I think he has something to say.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey, congratulations from Utah on your launch tonight. This is really awesome. All the good luck for really best sales, but thank you so much for being an inspiration to so many people, including me, and bringing joy to everyone that you come in contact with, because you're really awesome.
Thank you, Kevin. You have no idea. Kevin and I met, this is kind of an interesting story. We met because I had something that I wanted to share with him that I thought would be valuable from a business context. And I just randomly sent him an email that said, hey, this is who I am, and I'm going to be in your area, and I would love to tell you about it if you have a few minutes. And I'm not a salesperson, no strings attached. And he graciously responded in less than an hour. And we had this fabulous meeting, business. And then that quickly went to more of a relationship on a personal standpoint about, tell me about your life and your family and your kids. And so it just such a beautiful experience to be able to meet people in the course of business that form friendships that are so deep. Like Dale Morjan and his wife Nikki are close friends of mine. They've made drives for hours up to come to my house at dinner, and I've seen them at theirs. And we met again in a business context. And I don't think there's too much better when you meet through business, but when those business relationships are done, you really formed a friendship. It was not a transaction, it was a relationship. And it's just really heartwarming. Thank you, Kevin.
So we're going to keep on looking for any raised hands, but I want to just take a quick moment to remind you of a few ways that you might be able to support Julia as she's launching the book this week and beyond. Just a quick look at the slide. So you can buy the book for yourself. You could buy the book for a friend. We would love to see those selfies with the book. As soon as you receive the book, wherever you are in the world, snap a photo of yourself with Move Forward Stronger and send it to Julia for her scrapbook and for use on social media. Those Amazon reviews are critical at the beginning, especially, but throughout the journey for an author. And any of your social media, blog, podcast, or newsletter sharing would be such a great help to expand awareness of this book for people who do not yet know about Julia.
Kathy Aguilar, my angel sister, I see you sitting there. Oh my gosh, support truly from the wings, totally. And I also see you, Andrea. I want everybody to know, if you happen to see any of the publications, let's see, Newsweek, Authority Magazine, Baby Boomers, Business Insider, what was the most recent one? Yahoo, multiple different podcasts. That is all the work of Andrea Thatcher Kilkenny, who is just knocking it out of the park with trying to get this message in front of as many people as possible and literally help people in the world. So thank you, Andrea, for everything that you are doing to get this out there. And Becky, who really didn't even introduce herself, she is with an organization that is working with me. As I said, I could not do this alone. She is helping with all of the social media posts because, as most of you know, I am so technology challenged. I'm lucky I can figure out how to even put a post on my Facebook. So thank you, you guys, for what you're doing and helping me have a presence out there and build this awareness to get this into the hearts and hands of people that can really benefit from it. I hope I did not miss anybody as I'm looking closely at the names. I think it's
Won't ring.
Oh, yeah, I can help you with that.
Well, Lorraine did this.
Oh,
morning.
okay.
Got it back. I don't know what I did.
He had the notifications for his messages turned off, and then it.
All right. We had some unwanted background noise there. If anyone would still like to speak to Julia, we will leave the line open for a few more minutes and continue the recording so that we can capture everyone's magical messages to Julia for her to look back on forever. But I'm wondering, Julia, if you want to have any parting words for your guests tonight who have all joined to support this launch.
Everybody on this call knows that I always have parting words and beginning words and middle words. And I guess The most that I can say is, again, a thank you, thank you. This will be amazing if we actually end early, because all of my meetings and conversations go long. But I just can't thank you enough for supporting me, for encouraging me. Anything that you did that you thought was insignificant or little, I'm telling you that it was not. And many of you sent a text message or gave a hug or responded to something at just the right time where I needed a little bit of wind beneath my wings, or befriended me at just the right time. Or, I mean, I think about the conversation that I just had with Leslie Lambert not too many weeks ago, and just so excited about the possibilities. And you guys are the ones that have made this happen. You have supported and encouraged and spreading the word. And again, I just can't thank you enough. So please send me those selfies with that book. And I do want to send you some thank you gifts to say I really appreciate it. And together we can move forward stronger. And this is going to be a community grassroots thing. So thank you. And I'm going to try and get to every single one of your towns to be able to see you and thank you in person.